We have in our society a problem where there is a minority of people who are radicals, who are using the media, they're using the education system, and they're promoting values and ideas where they say people can do whatever feels right for them, and they promote the idea that there are no black and white absolutes, and they say basically if it doesn't hurt anyone, do it, and if it feels good, do it, and you don't have any responsibilities really, it's all about you. Now this kind of philosophy, which really is underlying a whole series of ideas and movements really, this is dangerous to our nation. Those people who are pushing and promoting these ideas are really attempting to destroy the fabric and the very solidness of our lives. You see, as those people, if they are able to achieve in seeding their ideas among the majority of people, Australia as a nation as it is and has been would be completely destroyed. These people are promoting a poison which we have to do something about. You see, it's not enough to say, well, they're not directly affecting me and I can make my own mind, and when it comes time to vote, I'll vote according to my conscience and so on. We need to make a stand and say, no, we want there to be a dominance of values, a set system, a tradition that continues, that establishes a proper path for continuing and true prosperity and success for the nation. You see, it's not just about whether or not it affects my life, it's about whether it affects the lives of our children and our children's children, and more than that, how can we be anything good in the world if we can't even deal effectively with the issues that are at hand in our own nation? You see, things like climate change or whatever other issues come up time to time, they come and go. They're issues that are beefed up, they're pumped out by the media, people get afraid about things and then they forget about them. But we need to get to core values, we need to get to things which are enduring and lasting, and things which are undergirding so that the nation goes forward into the future. A lot is said and a lot of complaints are made by people who are called conservatives, and they whinge and they say, well, the nation, things are going down and worse, and it's getting harder, and things are not like they used to be, and look at all these ideas they have now, and how things are not like what they used to be when they worked properly. And that's certainly correct. But we cannot just have words about that. You see, we need to have an ideological transformation. You know what that means? We need to change not only the way we think, but the way we're acting. You see, there is power in the conservative values. There's power in doing things that are right, and because it is right, it is justifiable, therefore, and moral, that we make a stand that is not just a stand of words, it is not just a stand where we're declaring, these are our principles, we want a conservative revolution. We want to change the nation and change the heart of people so that they are desiring the good and right way and rejecting that which is incorrect. Now that's wonderful and good, but we need to make a further step in this and get active in doing something about seeing the changes that ought to be made, not changes for the sake of change, not changes like some kind of pendulum swing or turning things upside down or the right way again. We're talking about getting in traditional values, getting in because those ideas are there. Australia is not bereft of the proper fabric. It's not completely missing from our society. It's there. What it needs to be is like a seed that is germinated and it sprouts and it grows and it becomes a mighty tree that is something that the nations can behold. Australia today is not in a condition, regardless of what may happen in the world's history, where it appears Australia is one of the greater or better countries due to so-called accidents of history or current events where things work out precipitously for us in such a manner that is beneficial, and we think, well, we're pretty well off. But we need to make the kind of changes where there is strength in what we're doing, strength of character, of moral fibre, of doing things the right way, getting established again. If you call that a revolution, it's only bringing back what was there. Now that means some tough decisions. That means that there has to be some hardening up in the way we do things. Now, we're not in a time of war at the moment. We're not facing the barrel of an enemy's gun. So it might sound a little strange to say that we need to make these kind of changes, and sounds almost drastic in the current climate. But we do need to, because war is a threat always, and particularly because we see that there are, especially in the northern hemisphere of the world, there are those nations who, banding together, are a great threat and are something which we, as a nation far in the south of the world, with our friends and in our unity in the South Pacific, can do something about. And we cannot do something about just on the basis of making a stand on some kind of flimsy, appeal for world peace and things. We must have the fibre and the fabric to stand upon. We need power behind our words. We need to say, this is right, because we have in our nation institutions and traditions and the kind of values that have been instilled and have grown up and developed in us from the very earliest of the days of our nation, even to this day, have not been lost, and that we are certain that these things is what causes there to be the absolute success that we are supposed to have. We should gain a sense of destiny by understanding our identity. We should gain a sense of our moral rightness as we ourselves align and attach ourselves to those values and to the source of moral excellence. We need to see civic virtue in our citizens. We need to see our nation governed aright. But all these things have at the basis a heartfelt yearning, desire, and attachment to the truth. And the highest truth of what is right, in that a man ought to regard the law and the supreme law of what a man ought to do and ought not to do, being supreme, the one who has given such a law is the great lawgiver, and we must abide by those laws. It is then a great law, and it is a great thing for us as a nation, and for us as individuals, as part of the nation, to regard the lives of our fellow citizens as greater or as important as ourselves, and that we should treat others in such a manner only descends from having this kind of thought awakened in us of moral excellence and of the right virtues and of a desire for peace and prosperity which is in line with what is good and right and proper for the condition of us as a whole, and that we should be a people who are ascribed to the name of the Lord. God bless you all.